in looking at the compensation plan summary, really this is going to guide you as to how to build a business and how the money will work. So although you can't see it the way it's laid out, it really comes in 2 stages. Everybody, when they registers as a direct consultant, which is the bottom purpley, bluey, indigo-y thing row at the bottom. And the first stage of the business is to develop your business to go silver. And in doing that, you show the company that you have learned what you need to know about retailing so that you can function as a business, but also that you have understood the business development side so that as a silver, you are effectively at the first level of leadership and then able to go on and support new potential leaders who join you in the business. And I forget exactly the phrase that you used, but I think it was regenerative leadership.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is exactly the kind of concept that we're looking at here. I often use an image of a spider plant. Do you know spider plants?
Yeah.
So with a spider plant, you start off with the plant and then it sends off little shoots, and each of the little shoots is like a miniature spider plant. And if you cut them off and plant them, then they grow to become big parent plants and so on. And so that's very much the way I see our business in supporting new spider plants. From silver on to royal diamond is a leadership process where effectively we are nurturing those spider plants, those consultants. And our income is in proportion to the total turnover of our organization, as I will describe to you now.
Thank you.
Okay. So there are 5 basic sources of income in Nikken, and 4 of them are on the chart, and the 5th is a catch-all for everything else. So if you look at the chart, you'll see that the first narrow column on the left is a series of 20%, and it's exactly the same top to bottom. And as you will see at the top, it says that's the retail sales profit. The 20% applies if you're calculating as a percentage of the retail price. We normally find it is more important to know what the profit is as a proportion of the wholesale price, in which case it's the retail price is a 25% markup on the wholesale price.
Okay. Hold on. No, sorry, my brain is really going slowly right now.
The column on the first narrow column on the left says 20%.
Yes.
So the retail profit is 20% of the retail price.
Yes.
But if you're calculating on the wholesale price, which is a smaller number, the markup is a 25% markup.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Okay, and that's the same for all consultants in Nikken, whatever level, whatever their experience. If somebody is purchasing a product from us, we're all doing the same thing. We all have the same function and we're all paid in exactly the same way. Okay?
Right.
Cool. The next column on the right is headed PCV rebate. And that's kind of like a wholesale discount. So what that tells you is that as each product of Nikken's, when you look at the price list, has a wholesale price and a recommended retail price. And it also has a column which says PV, which is the points value of the products. You're nodding, so I'm hoping you come across that.
Yeah, I know that one.
Okay, and it also has a column which says CV, which is commissionable value. And so we earn an additional percentage on all of the CV of all of the orders within our immediate organization. So if it's in our own, if it's a retail product, if it's a retail sale that we have, then we will earn between 5, 10, or 20% of the commissionable value of that order as an additional commission. Okay, so if somebody buys a waterfall from you, then I forget what the CV is.
So PCV is a combination.
So that's personal commissionable value, and you'll see that the black bars at the very bottom of the screen give you the translation. So it doesn't actually say what PCV is, but PCV is commissionable volume and PCV is personal commissionable volume.
What's the difference?
Well, just if you made the retail sale, then it's your personal commissionable volume. If somebody in your organization did it, then it's just commissionable volume. It's their personal commissionable volume, but you will get recognition for that also because you helped them to develop their business.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Eric,
Right.
Amelia said that it's 112 on a waterfall, the CV.
Okay,
Something like
perfect. Lovely. Yeah.
What do you mean, 112 pounds?
Commissionable volume. Yeah.
I'm really bad with numbers. So this is why we need to go slowly. So we have a waterfall for £250, and you get you sell it as a retail on a retailer, not to a wholesaler. So you get like 40 personal points on the PV. But if someone else was to sell it,
we haven't got to what happens yet. That's the next column.
So 120, where does the 120 come from?
So you, as a direct consultant, you would earn 5% of the 100 and whatever Amy said, 110, 120, whatever Amy said. You would get 5% as additional commission in addition to the retail profit, which you would earn on the sale.
I see. Additional. That's a CV, is the addition.
Yep, exactly.
Which is theirs. No, it's not. It's what you get.
Well, let's stay with what you get on your sale, and then the next column will move on to what happens if they do. Okay. So
PCV.
Yeah. So we move on to the PGCV, which is the next column, and you can see that that's made up of slivers. And the rule for that column is that you get what you're entitled to, less what the person who actually makes the sale is entitled to themselves.
Yeah.
So suppose that you're a silver consultant and you've sponsored a new direct consultant. The direct consultant gets the 5% of CV on the product, the waterfall, that they're entitled to because they've made the sale. You're entitled to 20%, 5% has gone to them, so you're entitled to the difference, which is 15%.
Okay.
Okay?
Wow.
Now, however, your goal is to help them to become silver as quickly as possible themselves. Yeah. So that 15% is compensation for the training and support that you give them in the process of developing their business.
Makes sense completely.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to become silver themselves. And in that situation, you're entitled to 20%, but they're entitled to 20%. So you would not receive anything from that column because you would both be at the same level.
Okay, so when you're both silver.
Yeah, when you're both silver, we move over to the next two columns on the right, and that's what happens at that stage, okay? And we call those the leadership bonuses. So in that situation, you are a silver, and you have another silver who's called Mary. And so you would earn 6% of the CV of not only what Mary's personal business is, but all of her organization within her silver group. You're going to earn 6% of that CV. And when she also sponsors somebody who's called Daniel, and he becomes silver, then you would earn 6% of that second level as well. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah, I get that.
Now, eventually, Daniel's going to sponsor somebody who is also going to become silver, whose name will be Peter. And because this is an independent organizational structure without a formal hierarchy, basically all the guides and incentives are built into this compensation plan. So in order for you to earn on the third level of leadership, you would need to become a gold consultant. And as you can see, the gold consultant has 3 6% in that bar on that location. So as a gold consultant, you would earn 6% on the 3rd level of leadership, as a platinum on the 4th level of leadership, as a diamond on the 5th level of leadership, and as a royal diamond on the 6th level of leadership.
Brain's not working again.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically to get to gold, what do you need?
Well,
again?
it's not so much to get to gold. The reason for getting to gold is so that you will earn on the 3rd level of leadership. The reason for going platinum is so that you can earn on the 4th level of leadership, and so on. And obviously as royal diamond, when you're earning on 6 levels of leadership, you're maximizing your income. Okay.
6 levels of leadership. Okay.
Okay. So the next thing then to look at is how you do these things. You said, how do you become gold? So you become gold by becoming silver and developing 15,000 points of organizational volume in your organization.
So what it says there, yeah.
And it's all written in that small white print,
Okay.
which I can't read on
I
this
need to,
chart,
yeah,
but I'm
I
sure
think I
that
just
you
need
will
to,
be able to when you download it.
yeah, when I download it, that's the problem. I haven't got a printer.
Well, okay, so just when
I
you
will get a printer.
when you enlarge it on your screen.
Yeah, I will get a printer because I need to look at that.
Okay. Well, when it's full page on your screen, that should also probably be okay. But
just so that you know, Deborah, some of the little things, because it says 15,000 points in the sort of organization, but there's a certain way that has to be broken up, and it has like OPL, which is outside of your primary leg, and OP and SL. So
for the purposes of this conversation, I think that's too much information. Okay. But yes, when the time comes, no doubt you will be on the phone and guiding Deborah accordingly.
Yeah, let me absorb this.
But
I'm glad, Amy, you know about it. At least I know that I've got people to call.
Absolutely. And that's very important in the regenerative leadership. What I usually say is, before my wife and I came to Nikken, my background was architecture. And probably in a similar way to working for GE, when I started a new job, my commitment was to solve the problems myself, because I was there to solve problems, and the last thing anybody wanted was me walking around saying, oh, where do I find the stationery cupboard and what do I do in such and such a situation? In Nikken, it's exactly the opposite. If you've got a question and you can't solve it quickly and easily, then please be in touch with your sponsors, because if they can solve it in 5 minutes, it beats 5 days of your trying to figure out what the answer is. So don't hesitate to call.
Like that.
Yeah, don't hesitate to call. And I am sure that they are as I am. And I would say, if you ask a question and then you hang up and then you think, oh, you know what, there's another question there. Again, I might be tempted not to bother somebody twice on the same day.
Louise and I talk all the time.
Perfect. I think it's basically an open invitation. Exactly.
Thank you.
So we've covered 4 sources of income now. We've got the retail sales profit is 1, the PCV rebate, which is like the wholesale discount, is 2, the PGCV, which is like an organizational discount, is 3, and then the leadership bonuses is 4. And the 5th source of income are the incentive programs. And if you haven't found them yet in your virtual office, you will find in the business tool, well, you will find it. You'll find a download, which is a PDF of the incentive programs, and then there's also an online connection also. And the way I would explain that is, presumably from your childhood, you remember the fairy story of Hansel and Gretel? Mm-hmm. Okay, and Hansel, when he goes into the forest, takes breadcrumbs, and he leaves a trail of breadcrumbs in the forest so that he can find his way out of the forest as efficiently as possible.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Okay, so Nikken's
incentive program.
Incentive programs, thank you, are like Hansel's breadcrumbs. Oh. So they will give you a sprinkling of breadcrumbs to follow. And if you follow them, you will build your business most quickly and most efficiently.
Right.
It's also a little bit like the breadcrumbs, because if you sprinkle the breadcrumbs and you don't follow them, then by the time you go back, the birds and the squirrels will have eaten all the breadcrumbs.
Oh, that's a very
So
good way.
the most efficient way to use the incentive programs is to sit down, read them, make a plan, and work to the plan.
Okay.
Because if you get distracted, you'll lose the momentum, you'll lose the leadership that you have created, and then you'll have to regenerate from an earlier stage.
Sure.
So bear in mind that the more focused you are as regards to time,
It focuses.
the more efficient it will be.
Yeah.
And that's really the
focus.
purpose of the incentive.
Yeah,
program.
focus is really important. But focus for momentum, basically. Yeah.
So it's not the cruise ship then, Eric?
What?
It's not the cruise ship then that incentivizes you?
I
don't know what the incentives are. That's the thing. I mean, I'm good at focus anyway, and momentum.
Well, I think it's something that you will easily, based on what we've just talked about, something that you'll easily understand when you go through it. And yes, there are cruises and international trips and things that are part of the incentive program. But in the end, what I get from you is that you're interested in building a solid and long-lived, productive business.
Yeah,
and so
sustainable.
Exactly. And so while it's nice to know that there are cruises available, that doesn't sound to me like it's
I wouldn't really want to go on
the
a
immediate
cruise.
star in for your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to meet everybody. I like a party.
Absolutely. And we assume that one day that will happen again. It's funny because one of Nikken's cultural foundation stones is actually hugging as being a part of a human relationship.
Wow.
And it is ironic that has now been banned for the best part of approaching 18 months.
Yeah.
So it's been virtual hugs over that period of time, but no doubt we will be able to.
That's lovely. Yeah.
So I think that that's probably all that we need to talk about for the moment.
Yeah.
Does that, have you understood what we're talking about, and is there anything that you would like to ask to clarify?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's recorded, I can go back, because I'm very bad at taking information in, and I have to sort of listen in my own way. But I'll just maybe repeat what I understand, partly because it's Friday afternoon. I'm sure it's the same for you as well, so I won't be too trying. We'll just go through it. If I don't understand it, it's fine. I'm happy because you really explained it well, and I'm confident that if I listen again, it'll sort of sink in. But yeah, so there's 6 levels. So we've got the retail one, which is 20%, but if it's wholesale, actually it's 25%. Then you've got the PCV, which is like a sort of rebate wholesale discount type thing, which basically is when it's when someone else is it's when someone else is selling.
No, so that's the additional commission that you get when you make a sale.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the wholesale discount.
To a wholesaler.
The bigger your volume, if you were in the mobile phone business, if you sold one, or if you bought one iPhone from Apple, you would get wholesale price. But if you ordered 100 from Apple all at the same time, you'd get a much lower price, and that would be your wholesale discount.
Oh, I see.
So that second
Is
column.
that what people do then? They order in bulk?
No, I'm trying to use an analogy rather than to give you a direction. But as you have more customers, Nikken will add up all the sales during the course of each month.
Oh, I see.
And they will give you a benefit for that. And actually, really, it's added up over a period of 3 months, of a rolling 3-month period. So they will add up all the volume within a rolling 3-month period, and they will increase or they will reduce the price by giving you an additional commission payment
Yeah, okay.
to recognize the volume that you are giving them. Okay.
Yes, very good. Okay, I get that.
So then the third column was like the training and support budget, where
Which is PGCB,
that's right.
training support budget.
Yeah. So that's the compensation for the training and support you give to your new consultants while you're taking them through the process of going to silver.
Yeah. Hold on. Through to silver. Okay.
And then the fourth source of income, other leadership bonuses, which in another business might be called franchise fees. So those are the residual, that's the residual income from the businesses that you have helped to develop. And then the fifth source of income are the incentive programs.
That's really makes sense. All of that. That's really not that difficult to understand.
No, I'm delighted to hear it. Our goal is it's something that we need to share, and so the more succinctly and efficiently we can do that, the better. And if we've done a good job, then you will quickly be able to, it may take another refresher or two, but eventually you will be doing exactly the same sharing process with the people in your development group.
That's unbelievable. That's
Okay.
understandable. So the points are which shows basically the level, whether you're gold and right. Okay. Yeah.
So the last thing then, just to mention, and I recognize the delegate in the top left-hand corner. Did you want to say something?
No, I just want to put you on the spot, but finish what you were going to say first. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that the next things that you need to focus on are how you go through the different levels. And so I think that's something that you and Louise and Amy can, do best as the business develops. But to put it simply, you become an executive by doing 1,500 points of volume over a rolling 3-month period. And that will take you to executive and increase your wholesale discount. And then at its simplest description, you go silver by doing 6,000 points in a rolling 3-month period with a few extra requirements in terms of having a couple of consultants in your organization who also place orders. But I think for the moment, the thing to focus on is how you earn. And then as you and Amy and Louise develop your plans over the next sort of days and weeks, then I'm sure that they will guide you as to the how you move up to executive and silver.
Yeah, I mean, what I've learned is, it's better to have legs.
Always better to have legs.
I'm so Nikken because I just said it without flinching.
Well, it comes back to regenerative leadership.
Yeah.
The goal is, if you were in a traditional retailing business, then you would have to contact all customers yourself.
Yeah.
The beauty of Nikken is that by diversifying through your contacts, your interface with the rest of the world grows through their contacts. And what is important is that the people who will earn the most will be the people who are doing the work, but that you will receive a residual payment for the work that you have invested in them in helping them to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's the essence of the business structure. And that's really the beauty of the business structure.
Yeah, organic.
And it's also worth saying, that although this is often classified, for example, as network marketing, there are all different ways in which the compensation plan operate. And I happen to think that Nikken's is the ideal blend of respect for others and freedom for others and empowerment for others, while still being able to build an important business for ourselves.
Yeah,